Hello, everybody, and welcome to this Sunday evening frequency meditation. I hope we've had all a great week. Just notice where we are right now. Coming here, arriving here in your body. So just notice the skin all around your body. Notice where that ends, and then the environment outside of that. And taking a deep breath in and coming to your spine. And what we're going to do tonight, we're going to bring awareness. Everything is about awareness. We can only shift. We're aware of something that we're holding, or what we think is who we are. And once we get that awareness, with time, with understanding, receiving, it's very easy to disconnect. But there's like that saying, it's pretty hard to fix something if you don't know it's broken as such. Not that we're broken. So tonight, let's bring this awareness in for you. There's a moment. Just take a breath in. There's a moment usually just before the mind tries to make sense of things, where something deeper moves. It's not a thought. It's not an instinct. It's not intuition. It's a kind of quiet knowing that just simply happens. You didn't build it. You didn't earn it. And in our mind, as mentioned before, we certainly couldn't think our way into it. So that's what we're going to work with tonight. An intelligence, so natural. It has no need to prove itself. So let's bring in that awareness of this intelligence. You see, most of what we call intelligence today is architecture on top of distortion. Strategies to correct what was never broken. Programs out there designed to optimize a system that is already coherent underneath. So we were never designed to become more intelligent. We were designing coherence from the very beginning. We just forgot. And what we do here, the Spacetime Method, is not to make you smarter. It's not to give you information. We're not here to give you new ideas or stronger habits or control mechanisms to practice to improve yourself. Actually, the Spacetime Method, how it has all been developed, downloaded, whatever you wish to refer to. The Spacetime Method is all about showing you how to reveal what was always underneath the noise. So coherence is not something we build. It's something we remember. And when you really finally drop into the structure beneath performance, it's not that you just feel clearer. You actually start to function differently, automatically, naturally, precisely. It's all about precision. Tesla called it frequency. Gabor Mate, for you that know his work, he almost touched it through trauma. The Sophies, the Taoists, and even the early Mayan scientists lived it. They knew that real intelligence is not reactive, it's original. And tonight we're going to enter that field where the intelligence doesn't evolve, it just simply reappears for you. So if your eyes are open, close your eyes now. Just let everything else that has been running start to slow. And it's not because you're controlling it, but because something more honest is already online. And we're bringing that in, taking a breath. Noticing yourself in the center of your brain. I refer to it as a sphere. Notice the left side of the brain, the right side of the brain, in front of the brain, behind the brain, below and above. Just hang out here. This is our neutral place. This is where we're in the right position. It's actually a porthole. Some people call it third eye, pineal gland. Those are just labels, but just let's focus here. This part of you that has nothing to manage, rehearse. There's nothing to fix here. Quickly, permanently, effortlessly, because we're not trying to tackle the mind that actually created the distortion. We're going to a clearer place, a place where that intelligence is. That's always available for us, by the way. So from our sphere, just let the frequency drop. Not your breath, not your focus. The actual movement of coherence is what we're doing. So it begins to spiral down through your body, along the spine, past the ribs, sacrum, into the earth. This isn't a visualization, it's a mechanical reality that you're performing. And if filters come up, control mechanisms, old timelines, they say, nah, this can't be true. Well, earlier, I quoted other, much greater men who have contributed to humanity. The list can go on. So just let that rest in these loops that tell you this is not possible to actually come back into coherence. And through the movement, sphere, spine, earth, spine, sphere, frequency field. For those of you who are new, if you go to the app, there's complimentary meditations on this. That's the power we have. Simply by applying, practicing, committing to the movement, coherence returns. So again, focusing on our sphere and breathing naturally. The breath, the movement, they don't have to be in synchronicity. In fact, they're very two different technologies. So dropping from the sphere right down through the spine into the core of the earth, and then just sitting in the corner of earth, tuning in to these frequencies. We tune into frequencies all day long. Unfortunately, most of them are not very helpful. So let's put our attention and our intention into connecting to the Earth's frequencies, these pure frequencies, been around billions of years. Precise. filtered out all the distortions through this act of gravity, but not from a physical way. And then let the spiral reverse, pulling that Earth's frequencies up right through your spine, through the base, back of your heart, behind the skull, and then it returns right here to the center of your sphere. Again, we pause here. This is our, I feel like this is our home, our central foundation, or if you like, it's the axis of your awareness. And from here, as we're in our position now, and with everything we do here, it's all experiential. So what I'm doing is I'm outlining what I've received, the codes I've received. And as mentioned, it's backed by many, many, many different doctrines, gurus, science, quantum physics that support it. Not that it matters. But what we do is experiential, so you'll feel it by practicing it. As you form this relationship with movement, it's not that just as soon as we do it, boom. Everything is a relationship, and that deepens and reveals itself. Experientially, you'll understand what I'm saying. How this actually is the axis of your awareness. This is where you receive. And you know you're receiving because there are thoughts you've never thought before. They've never been in your rule set. Possibilities, never been imagined. And from here, let's just expand out now into gently arm's length around you, above you, below you, just like the sphere, above you, below you, side to side, front to back. This is your frequency field. These are all your frequencies. Hang out around you. Might not seem very much, arm's length around you, but also the depth is infinite. Breathing in, and just effortlessly notice, imagine. It's the greatest superpower we humans have. That's why we have everything here. Because everything starts first with imagination. So imagine it if you can't feel it, if this is new to you. Just imagine that field begins to radiate. Clear, wide, quiet. Nothing to force here, because it's already happening in real time, always. So as we're inside our frequency field, we're observing it, we're bringing our attention to it. We're not doing awareness. You're not doing awareness when you're in this field, for you are awareness. And it's not because you're thinking the right thoughts, but because the system you're now having access to, as we take a breath in and we notice our spine as well, as we're in our frequency field, that's how we embody. When we reach other realms, we embody it in this density through our spine. And this is what you're tuning into, the system, which is operating from the design beneath the thoughts. That's where real change happens. Very efficiently, like the universe. And now let's just take a moment to observe. It comes to you. What starts to drop when you enter this? Observing your field, what comes to you? What softens? The management, the trying, the voice that says, am I doing this right? All of it dissolves because the structure you're now seated in makes all of that conversation unnecessary for you. And from here, which you can come back here at any time, you can always come back to your sphere. You can always expand out into your frequency field. Receive. But from this space that we're in, there's no need to become present when presence is the only thing functioning here. There is nothing else here but presence. So there's no need to solve anything here, fix anything, heal anything. When intelligence is in fact already moving ahead of thought. And this is where the real transmission begins. From here we start to clear the simulated architecture. All those mental overlays that have been pretended to be intelligence, we disconnect from them. Coping strategies that are dressed up as performance, we dismantle it. You are no longer needing to pretend. So let this next layer activate now as we breathe in and we notice ourselves in our body. And then maybe open your eyes, look around you, just look at an object and notice that's in a different environment from you. And then close your eyes and come back in your environment, everything within where the skin stops. So your system's returning to its original instruction. And again, this isn't a metaphor, it's a frequency structure. Everything in quantum physics is based on this. Returning to original instruction before the mind, the programs, the ancestral distortions. It's very similar to why birds migrate without any coaching. That's why seeds know which way to grow. You're designed with the same level of precision. The only thing that's ever blocked it was this inherited interference. So let that dissolve right now as we take a breath in and just confirm. Observe again, you in your sphere expanding out into your field, tuned in to Earth's frequencies that they're not just pure frequency, they actually in fact align you in space and time. They bring you into that more optimal position of presence. Just like nature. That's why when we go in nature, we feel so good. We might think it's the landscape, the activity, the fresh air. No, it's nothing like that. Nature is so present, it pulls you in. So we're here right now. It's all available for you. And if the mind wanders, if the control loops come in, you just come back to your sphere, neutrality, receive. It's not me sending you information, nothing to do with me, Rob, the guy. What we do here is not connected to any religion, doctrine, dogma, organization, cult, whatever. None of it. It's all about opening the pathway.
Unknown caller.
Karen, we got to stop it at 1933. Okay. I don't even know where I was now. What was I saying? Okay, just give me a minute. Let's get back into it. So, we might just have to cut some of the sentence and try to make it work. I think I said something about inherited interference. Yeah, okay. But let's just take it from here. Disconnect from that. Okay, so let that dissolve. All of it. All performance habits. mental tightness, all those systems of betterment, just let it release. And not as rejection, not something we're fighting, we're pushing against, but we release this because it's irrelevant. You're no longer inside a process. You're already in coherence. So taking that breath in, noticing your tailbone, and again doing the movement from the center of our brain, the sphere. And let's take time. There's no rush. This is probably the most beneficial thing you can ever do. It's like the quote-unquote the awakening process. Everybody wants to get there. We want to get there because of our lack of faith. But if you knew deep down, I am going to get there, wherever that is, because it's an infinite process, but whatever benchmark in your mind you want to go to, if you really knew that, you could relax and enjoy this incredible process of being to observe yourself in full metamorphosis continuously. That's where the magic is on this journey. Not getting somewhere, not achieving the next benchmark. Because as we know, spirituality is not different than any other commodity out there in the mass consciousness. We certainly know that once we achieve something, very fast, new goalposts come up. That level feeling of completion, contentment, vanishes pretty fast. So we don't do it that way here. We bring in the awareness so you do get to observe you in physical form, just like your higher self is observing you in physical form. And the whole process of what you're doing in this amazing life that you've chosen to be here. It's not about paying the bills and the pains that you have in your joints or the relationships that are not maybe the healthiest. Those are the thoughts that we're disconnecting from and going beneath it. So as we drop from our sphere down through our spine to the core of the earth, and then reversing, just noticing, acknowledging, tuning into the frequencies of the earth, coming back up our spine to our sphere. Staying here, and for those of you who feel a gentle pull back in the head and up, if you want to follow that from this place in the sphere as a foundation. If you are having that opening of other realms being available for you, do that. For those who don't, staying here, it's fantastic, the center of your sphere, and then just expanding out into your frequency field, noticing the two, the frequency field, center of the sphere. We won't get to it tonight, but that relationship, well, there's one to explore. So from our sphere, just noticing it, maybe place this phrase there. I remember how to function, not as a belief, but as an architectural code. And let that echo through the spine. That's where you hold it in density. And then, referencing our frequency field, let it root in our frequency field all around you. Let in your entire body begin to follow that truth. I remember how to function. It's not about the thoughts, the loops, the controls, the distortions. I'm going beneath that, more precise. So you're not learning, you're syncing. And you're not working, you're receiving. And also this dialogue about upgrading. You're not upgrading, you're simply accessing. It's very different. Real intelligence is not a peak you climb. It's a field you land in, you tune into. Just like TV stations. You flick from channel to channel. They're all active. But it's which one are you going to put your attention on? Are you going to have an experience with? Are you going to have an expression? And that's what we're doing here. We're tuning into a channel where this intelligence is. And let's just bring it home, making it, let's locate the mechanics for you. And again, if the mind is lots of questions, doubts, other things are coming into your field, just bring it back to your sphere. Neutrality, just for this meditation. So as the field expands, the body begins to coordinate. The breath adjusts. The spine elongates. And what goes on beneath is that the nervous system starts managing signal and starts to transmit it. So you're no longer thinking about alignment. How much of your journey do you think about the logistics, where you're going, the distortions, what you need to do, versus actually experiencing it, being the expression of it in real time? So you're no longer thinking about alignment. Again, you're running alignment. And when we're in this state, and heads up, practice, practice, practice. But with the practice, again, you receive the awareness of what you are uncovering, the metamorphosis you're going through, the different versions that you've been in the past. You're awakening to all that. So practice, I tell you, it's the best thing for entertainment out there. And when we're in this state, the beauty of this, the efficiency of this design, the system, that it's not just for us humans, it's the system. Anything outside of coherence becomes self-clearing in itself. You don't have to push it away. It simply cannot hold shape inside this geometry. Same pattern as when we expand, perhaps people around us shift, change, disappear. Some will gravitate to the level of the frequency you are because there's a self of awakeness already in them. And they remember, without consciously knowing it, that everything alive here in this density is seeking the next level of frequency, a clearer level. It's evolution. It's how we've done it. So as we shift, getting back to the example, some people who are have that flicker of awakening, gravitate towards you. They want that next level. And many will rebel you. Same system that happens here in our field. When we're in that state, anything that is not coherent in this state cannot exist. It cannot hold that shape, as I said, inside this geometry. And this is the transmission we're doing right now, by the way. Breathing in. So you see the real intelligence we're moving into. And also right now, with ChatGPT, anybody in 30 seconds can be the most profound expert on anything. So information, which will really ramp up, will not be the commodity people seek anymore. It'll be this frequency. The people who have the frequency, who can access the real intelligence. And real intelligence does not need to defend itself. It just simply holds a frequency that makes distortion irrelevant. There's no conversation. There's no debate. There's no polarity. So let's take another moment. Let your inner vision open. No projections or ideas. Just the awareness of what is already here in your field, beneath all story, beneath all processing. See, this is the space where original form meets awareness. So let's pause here so we can stabilize it. And perhaps now we can place this phrase in the field, or say inwards, or however you want to do it, whatever comes to you. I am the intelligence that cannot be lost. Really let that pulse out, not from the lips, not from the head, but from the structure itself, noticing the spine. And again, one more time. I am the intelligence that cannot be lost. Let that phrase dissolve even the idea of seeking. Because there is nothing to seek when you are the source. You're simply just a structure remembering itself. You're that coherence that does not evolve. It simply reappears once the interference ends. See, it's simple. All these things that I receive are incredibly simple, and I always catch my going, it's simple, but it's never come across your awareness before. The systems have to be simple. The universe is so complex. If it didn't have very precise, simple patterns, structures, formulas, it'd be chaotic. So bringing that into you, letting that resonate with you, that you are the original design. And again, it's not because you achieved it. It's not because of any courses, events, life events. It's not because you did anything to achieve it, but because nothing ever changed it. And you're coming back to that realization. What we thought was reality, what was the truth. It's just a ripple. It's a ripple effect, contaminated with distortions, covering up that intelligence that shows you that you are the brilliance that has been created here. And so tonight, the field's locked. The system's resynchronized now. You're home. And everything is in real time. I stress that. Because also we have this mass consciousness programming that if we do something, work really hard, get it, we're done. It doesn't work like that at this level. Everything is in real time. So if you want to listen to this again, if you want to experience that space again, then you're in it. But then when we let the mind go off again, we're not. So we come back. And over time, the system starts to stabilize and we just kind of stay there. We collapse timelines. We come into the one precise timeline. Here, right now, this very moment. And that's where everything is accessible. Nothing is accessible from the past. Nothing is accessible from the next moment. So let your body reset itself in this frequency, frequently. The movement, the more you do it, it's like just grooving that path back and forth, more and more and more precise, more efficient, less static. We can do the movement anywhere. Do it in the elevator, do it when you're waiting for your coffee, doing it as you get into the car or public transport, on your daily exercise, if whatever you may do, in yoga. You can do it when you're at a dinner party and you're not connecting with everyone. You'll be amazed how you shift your perspective. So as your body resets itself in this frequency, and as we close, feel the space really holding itself without effort, without lose, without loss, without disbelief. You're already held by this intelligence beneath all becoming. And now, you've been given awareness, and it will come to you deeper from your higher self, to you, for you, through you, in your flavor. That's why it's so exhilarating, euphoric being on this journey. The possibilities are infinite. Everybody creates their own reality with their own rule set. So whatever we do here, everyone will receive it differently from their flavor. And you can stay here in this space. You can listen to this again later. You can even have the voice down low. It's the frequencies that are moving for you now. And with that, I'll see everybody next week. I hope you have a beautiful last week in July.